Hello students and welcome to Bio 100. This is Bio 100 online and hybrid. I made this little video just in case you missed the first day of class. We're going to talk about this the first day of class, but I wanted to go through the basic course structure if you need to review or if you missed it. And so in class, I'm going to hand you a mirror, or I handed you a mirror, and a piece of paper. And on the piece of paper were shapes, and I encourage you to do this at home just because it's fun. But if you put the mirror up to your forehead and you look in the mirror and you try to trace the shapes, it's extremely difficult. And I also ask you to write your name in the mirror so that it appears correct in the mirror, like you're seeing, or correctly in the mirror, like you're seeing in this picture. And what students find is very frustrating. They want to scream at their hand that their hand is doing the wrong thing. And so then I ask the students, why is this so difficult? And a lot of times we get answers like, you've got muscle memory, or we've been doing it so long one way, it's hard to switch things in our mind and do it another way. And that's exactly right. Now, and then I ask students, had I shown you this PowerPoint slide before I gave you the mirror, that vertical positions are opposite, the horizontal positions are consistent, to write your name it has to be upside down, but still horizontally not inverted, would this help you? And some students are like, oh yeah, this totally help. So I give them the mirror and have them do it again, and it turns out it doesn't help at all. Right? It's not that you don't believe me, it's just that PowerPoint is not the most effective way of helping you learn. And that's because of these little things that we talk about in equilibration theory. So learning is this dynamic process where you're building conceptualizations in your mind, but we don't come into the classroom as blank slates, right? Everybody has had experience somehow with biology before they walk in the classroom. If you've been outside, you've had experience with biology. And so if you're learning something for the first time and you don't have any experience with it, it's called assimilation. And it's difficult, but it's not nearly as difficult as accommodation. So accommodation is when you have something already in there and you have to modify it in some way. And so most of the things you know about biology, some of it's correct, some of it's not correct. And so the things that aren't correct, I can't just tell you the correct thing and expect it to replace it in your mind. You have to experience it, this cognitive conflict, and replace it yourselves. And it's a difficult process. And so we use a specialized way of learning in this class that encourages this accommodation. And so we use a specific learning approach called the 5E learning cycle. In education, we love alliteration, so of course they're all E's. But this is the idea. So with each activity, we're going to engage you, get your attention with something bizarre or something funny or something weird, and then you're going to sort of explore it. Now we're going to walk you through it through a series of video lectures, but we're going to have you think about it and kind of walk our way through it so that you're considering the information and trying to make sense of it. And then we'll explain, make sure it's clear. And then elaborate is the next step. So it turns out that research shows that if students don't use the information they learned in class in some other context, it becomes contextually specified. And so for instance, if you learn genetics using fruit flies, then maybe it doesn't apply to frogs or humans or whatever. So you have to elaborate and apply it in a slightly different way. So we're going to do that. And then evaluate is to test yourself and make sure you know the information. And so we kind of break it up into content attainment, where you're first learning the material, and then concept application, where you're applying it in a novel situation. And the way that it's set up is that you'll attain the content through what we call lecture videos, but they're very interactive and exploratory. And then you'll take a video quiz to make sure that you understood what you just were experiencing. And it's kind of low level. The video quizzes are low level, just regurgitate. Did you get most of the material from the information? And then you'll do a homework assignment. And the homework assignments actually have interactive tutorials in them. So they're going to ask you to attempt something on your own, and then I'll walk you through it with a series of videos, and then you'll attempt it again now that you understand the concept. And we'll do that over and over again until you get the concept down. And if you don't get the concept down, then we have wonderful TAs that can help you if you need help. Okay? So this is kind of the engage, explore, and explain happens in the video lecture, elaborate happens in the homework, and evaluate kind of happens throughout. We're also going to take exams, right? But before we talk about that any further, I want to introduce you to the people that you're going to be seeing and hearing in the lecture videos and in the video tutorials and the homework. So most of the lecture videos have been done by my two amazing colleagues, Dr. Heath Ogden, who teaches at UVU, and Dr. Emily Holt, who's at University of Northern Colorado. And we collaborated on this class and designed the materials together, but I was a little shy of the camera, and so Dr. Ogden and Dr. Holt are the ones that do the majority of the lecture video parts of it. But the tutorials are then made by myself mostly, and then I had two wonderful students that helped me build a lot of these tutorials. Josh Payne, who's now in medical school, and Clara Smith, who is just starting a graduate program. And they both, you'll hear their voices. So I just wanted to put a face to that voice so you know who they are. And they did an amazing job with these tutorials. And then, like I said, most of the tutorials I've made myself, and you'll just have to forgive me for my technology, but we do our best. Okay, so this is what the class looks like. We're doing sort of an online but also hybrid. So I did it completely online last semester, and students liked it, but they complained that they wanted a little bit of interaction with the instructor. And so this semester we've set it up that everything is still available completely online. You actually don't ever have to come to class if you don't want to, but I strongly encourage it because class time we're going to use to review what you learned on your own at home and answer any questions that you have. And I have 3 great graduate TAs that are going to help me run the class sessions. So you'll see any number of us on any given day. And so, for instance, on a typical week, and I just picked a week in the middle of the semester, you would have 3 kind of modules, so to speak, 3 modules to complete by the end of the week. It's actually by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. And then on Friday starts the review of those particular days. So the week before what's shown here on the screen, you would have done 2, 3, and 4. And then on Friday, we would have a review of 2 through 4 if you're the Friday class, Monday if you're the Monday class, or Wednesday if you're the Wednesday class. So if I were in the Monday class, for instance, I would have done 2 through 4 the week before. I would come on Monday and have the review, and then I would do 5, 6, and 7 by the following Friday. And then the next week, we would review 5 through 7, and then I would do 8, 9, and 10 before the next Thursday, and so on. And then the exams will come after we've had an in-class review of all the material for that particular unit. So I hope that makes sense. Most units are 3 weeks long. I only showed 2 weeks here on the screen. So about 9 little modules. I call them days, but it doesn't really matter. They're just a module. And the modules, just so you're aware, they typically take, the lecture videos are a series of 1 to 3 videos that are 10 to 15 minutes long, and then you take a quiz. They're designed to be completed within an hour, like you would during a class day. And then the homework assignments likewise are designed to be completed within the hour. If they're taking you longer than that, you need to go see a TA and see where you're kind of getting caught up. So it should really only take you an hour for this and an hour for this, so on and so forth for each of the days. So each week you've really got 6 hours of stuff to do, and then attend a review session, which would make sense for the 3-credit class. Okay, so at the end of a unit, you would take a unit exam. The unit exams are all open book and open note, but they are timed. And they're just a series of multiple choice questions tied to the learning outcomes, and I'll show you where those are in a minute. And let's say you go in, you take the unit exam, you get an 88%. Well, then we run reviews of exams with TAs. So if you go see a TA and review the questions you got wrong, you get an automatic 5 percentage points back on your unit exam, which will bump you up in this case to a 93%. So I would encourage you to attend those. Those are not the in-class sessions. Those are just review sessions. These are specific, and we'll show you where those are in a minute. Here's the schedule. This is also available online. I'll show you where. But you can see that there's 4 units. Each unit is about 9 days. It is 9 days. I'm quoting days. These are modules. So you have 3 modules, 3 modules, 3 modules. So that's 3 weeks, and then you'll take an exam, and so on and so forth till the end. The last 2 will just appear on the final exam. Okay, so as far as the class breakdown goes, we have a few research surveys that we're going to give you. And then we have our lecture videos, our video quizzes, the things you're doing, the homework assignments, the unit exams, and the final exam. And so this is the weight of them. So the research surveys are 5%. I'm not sure why that number is not popping up. There it is. Here we go. So the research surveys are 5%. The stuff you do at home, the lecture video quizzes, the quizzes are what tell us you've watched the lecture video. Those are 20%. and the homework assignments are 25%. So, and notice these in red, this is my life happens policy. So Canvas will automatically drop 1 research survey, 5 video quizzes, 5 homework assignments, and your lowest exam of the 4. You don't have to tell me which ones, you just simply don't do them. If you have a bad day or if something happens and you can't get to it, don't worry about emailing me and apologizing and asking if you can have extra time, etc., etc. It just goes towards that drop. This is my life happens policy. The unit exams are 30% and the final exam is 20%. So you can see that 50% of your grade is just participating in the activities that I've built for you. The other 50% is assessment. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to earn points. You just have to do the activities I've given you. Okay. Okay, so here's our Canvas course. It's on Canvas instead of Learning Suite, but it's BYU's Canvas, so it's byu.instructure.com. Okay, you can see that up here, and you'll see the Bio 100 course. I'm not totally finished with it right now, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video. It should look very similar to this. And so the very first thing you'll see is the learning outcomes. These are the most important things to you. So if you click on the learning outcomes, you can download them, but it's going to show you exactly what I expect you to be able to do from every day of class, from day 1 on, right? So on let's just go to day 20, mitosis. You're going to compare and contrast meiosis and mitosis, determine the parent in which non-disjunction occurred, explain the purpose of mitosis, etc. So as you're studying for exams, this is what you study from. This is what you should be able to do. This is what we will cover in class in the review sessions to make sure everybody can do all of these things. Okay, by the way, in Canvas, it has these little breadcrumbs and things, but it's so much easier, just always click home. And don't ever access anything unless you're on the home page. If you're trying to find a homework assignment and you go to like assignments, it's not going to show up. Okay, so bios and office hours. If you want to know who the TAs are, how to contact them, and when our office hours are, this is the place that you would go. This is the schedule that I showed you before. This is where you will access that. The video lectures, most of them, the actual video lecture part are on our YouTube channel, and so you can access them here, but you should always be able to access them in the course. I don't know why I even put that on there. My office hours are on Wednesdays from 2 to 4, and I hold them via Zoom for now. And so you can just jump on there. I've got it open from 2 to 4. I'll just put you in a waiting room until I'm done with the person before you. There is an ebook. You don't need it. Everything for this course is available in the course materials. You don't have to purchase an ebook, but some people prefer to have a supplemental book that talks about the same stuff. Absolutely. This is the one I recommend you can get. And then the last thing is this, if you need access to an assignment you missed. So if you miss an assignment, if you don't actually attempt it, it will not let you go in and look at it. And so the way to access a course or an assignment that you've missed is to go here. This is a free mock class that I've set up. So you would just go there, register for the class. It doesn't matter. It's not going to keep your scores or anything, but it'll allow you to access the homework assignments over and over and over again. So if you miss one, that's where you go. Okay, and then you just follow along, right? So each module, I'm going to go to a better one, like day 9, okay? So day 9 is on promoting diversity. It has the due date for you. You would click on this video lecture and you'd watch the little lecture. So this one has 3 little short videos that you're going to watch. It tells you what the learning outcomes are for that day. Once you watch the video, you'll just click on next, and this is the quiz. We encourage you to take the first attempt of the quiz closed book, because this allows you to see how much you learned from the material. It's just a great way to test yourself, and it's good pedagogy. So you should take the first attempt closed book, but you have unlimited attempts, and you can use your notes on every other attempt. So try to do the first attempt on your own, and then go back and look at your notes, and you can take it over and over again. Take it until you get 100%. That's not cheating. You should take it till you get 100%. Okay, so that's the video quiz, and then you'll go to the homework assignment. The homework assignment only gives you 1 attempt, so you want to make sure you do it accurately, but I'll show you kind of what the homework assignment looks like. So it's going to ask you some questions, and then little tutorials will pop up and explain what you should have just learned, and then kind of ask you to sum it up again. Okay, so it's going to ask you to attempt something, and then I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to have you attempt it again and explain it to you. So there's lots of tutorials, and you just fill them out. You should be able to get 100% on homework assignments. they're designed to be a learning experience. You can do them with the TAs or ask TAs questions. You can do them together. That's not cheating. But once you click submit, that's it. You're done. Okay. And you won't be able to do it again. But that's the whole thing for each day. So you're going to do those 3 days, and then you're going to come to class and we'll review those. But if you feel like, man, I got that, I have no problems at all with that, then I mean, technically you don't have to come to class. We're not taking attendance or anything, but we will answer all questions and review things and help you understand the material better. So if you attend class, you're likely to do better in the class. But like I said, if those 3 days made complete sense to you, you don't have any questions at all, you don't need to worry about it. Yes, I'm navigating away. I'm going back to home. And so that's the modules. The only other thing to point out, we have some pre-assessments I'd like you to take. I've given you a due date, and there's some post-assessments at the end. Oh, the exams are on here. You can see them, like here's exam 2. These optional instructor practice days, these are just like practice exam questions. You don't have to do them. They won't count against you. You can take them as many times as you want. They just help prepare you for the exam a little, but really you want to look at the learning outcomes. And then the exam, once you open it, you've got 180 minutes to finish it. Open book, open note, but not open neighbor. And you finish the exam here. Okay, and so all the exams except the final are like that. The final exam is also online. You don't ever have to be on campus. But the final exam is proctored and it's closed book with 1 page of notes. Okay, and it's comprehensive. And that's it. That's really all there is to this class. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hope to see you and meet you all soon.